Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Nick.
I know you got a great butthole. Sorry, can't. Not Nick.
I do though.
Ew. Doubt it.
And this is Eric.
Yeah, I am still Eric.
We're talking Interference Sports. I forgot to count up all of our. I'll count up our record after this week. Remind
Okay.
me. You got to remind me though.
Yep, I'll remind you.
So, we've
We've
reached the halfway point of the season almost, right? Or this is the halfway point of the season.
Yeah,
Season's halfway done.
I can't believe that, man. This season has been flying by.
I know. It feels like we just started this season, and here we are talking about who's MVP already and what the power rankings are for going into the playoffs. And
Man, I know who my vote for MVP would be.
it's got to be Russell Wilson.
Man, either Russell Wilson or Lamar Jackson.
I wasn't thinking Lamar Jackson. Honestly, I would think Christian McCaffrey before
Good call.
before Lamar Jackson. But Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, and Russell Wilson, definitely all three names that need to be thrown out there when we're talking MVP. Most definitely.
And I was listening to a local radio station, 710, this morning, and they were playing a clip from one of their shows, and I can't remember who the analyst was. He was from Monday Morning Quarterback, and one of their questions was, after 8 years in the league, do you think people have moved past, Russell Wilson is too short and, can't see over the line, all of this stuff? And like, dude,
it's
been it's been almost a decade he's been playing in the league. Like, at what point you're just like, well, obviously he can do it.
right.
He won a Super Bowl, was in a second, and has only missed the playoffs one time. Now, granted, all of that wasn't solely his doing, but
You got to tell me that Russell Wilson has won more of the games for the Seahawks than the team collectively has won for themselves. Tell me you don't think that's true. This season has solely been Russell Wilson
this season
carrying
has.
his team.
but the first three, that Seattle defense, that having a fantastic offensive line, I mean, that put them in contention and kept them in games that they otherwise would have
Not been in?
Yeah.
Right, for sure.
I mean,
For sure.
you would have been looking at, Seattle then would have been what we're seeing now with the Browns.
Right. No, most definitely. So, did you happen to catch any of the New England and Baltimore game?
I did.
You didn't. That's
No.
okay.
Didn't watch it.
New England ended up losing. They looked pretty awful. I feel like it was just kind of an off game for them. They were kind of, just all over the place. There was penalties that they shouldn't. A disciplined New England team doesn't do. And I was actually like, wow. So I was wondering now that Baltimore has beaten New England and Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
but San Francisco has beaten Baltimore, where does that gauge to you on this upcoming matchup for the Seahawks against San Francisco in San Francisco?
Man, that's a good question. And that's a tough question too, because other than the Ravens, which San Francisco faced early on. What other team has San Francisco faced with a winning record?
Teams that Seattle have beaten. Seattle has faced the same people that San Francisco
I know, but
has. My question for you is where does this gauge on your level of, San Francisco blew out a couple of the teams that the Seahawks had a little bit of an issue with during the season.
see, I'm not concerned about that because look at the year we won the Super Bowl. San Francisco also had a good team,
Mm-hmm.
and they blew out teams that we beat by a field goal.
San Francisco also did beat Seattle that season in San Francisco.
Yeah, they did. And that's why I'm probably, unfortunately, going to pick San Francisco in this upcoming game. But
You would think
Seattle always plays
really
close
tough.
games.
Yeah, no, Seattle always – so it's always from my experience of watching Seattle football games is the Seahawks try really hard to control the ball and keep the games close and then rely on, Russell Wilson in the fourth quarter. And this is why he does not get the recognition because, he ends up throwing like 200 yards in a game because, 150 of them come in the fourth quarter.
Right. And the rest of them are like, hand the ball off, hand the ball off, hand the ball off,
Right.
hand the ball off.
Here's some Chris Carson with a little bit of Richard Penny sprinkled in.
Rashad
Penny, sorry. My bad.
Although,
Good correction.
Did you see that run that Carson ripped this past weekend?
Yes. I loved it. Yeah, it was great. I'm still concerned about fumbles,
handling?
though. Yeah, fumbles have been detrimental this season. Detrimental. There has been way more issues with ball handling than I've ever experienced as a Seahawks fan this season over my entire fandom of Seattle. And it's very frustrating, especially when you're a run-heavy team.
Well, Chris Carson has always had a problem, even going back to college, with
Handling
his
the
control
ball.
of the ball.
Right.
But even at that, this year, if you look at his numbers, Chris Carson is arguably one of the best running backs in the league.
He's definitely. I was looking at some stats earlier today. I'm very confident in saying that he's top 10 in rushing right now.
Yes.
Very confident. I don't know about top 5, but I know for sure
is.
he might be. I feel that he is, but I'm not looking at the numbers right now. But I definitely see that he's in definite top 10 contention, possibly even top 5. But the fumbles are detrimental because these games could be, not as close as they are because of these fumbles.
Right. And when you're a team like Seattle that plays close games, even with teams that you should blow out of the water, like the Bucks.
Yeah. Think about
you
how many.
Can't turn the ball over.
Think of how many fumbles that the Seahawks have had because of Chris Carson this season, and then look at the numbers of interceptions that Russell Wilson has thrown. If you eliminate just half of the fumbles, that Chris Carson
has only been
thrown
intercepted
once. So yeah,
and it
think
was
about
for
how
a pick six,
offensively how well the Seahawks have been able to control the ball. I'm very, very disappointed in how well the defense has been, but
more specifically, secondary.
I'm not. So I went into this season knowing that the secondary was going to be shoddy. It's going to have question marks. We already knew that.
Yeah.
But then they brought in Janavian Clowney in the front, and they got Ziggy Ansah and all of these guys who are supposed to be doing all of this pass rushing, and it's not happening. The San Francisco 49ers have 3 guys on their defensive line that have more sacks than the top sacker of the Seahawks' defensive line.
Well, but if you go back and look at Clowney, for instance, the most sacks he's had in the season, I believe, was 8.
Okay, that's fantastic. He is not on pace for 8 right now. Nobody on that defensive line is on pace for 8 right now. And we were expecting people to be pushing like 5, 6, 7 by now, and we're not looking at that. That's where I'm most upset. That's what I read from like analysts, and the way that you rate that front 7, that way you should rate that front 7 should be exponentially higher than what it is right now. That's what I'm most disappointed in, is the Bosa's being one of them. Yeah. Bosa is just
another guy whose highest year was 8 or 9 sacks. So
Bosa's a rookie this year.
I know, but it was college, but there was another guy in there too.
Regardless.
But they're like, oh, these 2 guys, I mean, they're going to get, 32 sacks.
They're eating sacks over there in San Francisco, and I'm not sold on
I can't remember the other guy's name or the combination or what it was, but they're like, this combination will get us, 32 sacks this year. And I'm like, well, that guy's a rookie. That guy, his highest number was 9. And this other guy, I think his highest number was 7 sacks in a season. So how the hell do you come up with we should average 32 sacks or have 32 sacks by the end of the season? That math doesn't add up. I mean, you'll end up with 16?
Maybe. I feel having Clowney and having Ansah and Ford and even Reeds came back and not done what is supposed to be expected of these teams or this defense. That's what I'm most disappointed about, because I knew the secondary was going to be questionable. So as we're talking about this upcoming matchup against the San Francisco 49ers, let's start by picking the Monday night game, which is supposed to be Game Changer Sports Network's game of the week. It is the San Francisco 49ers versus the Seattle Seahawks on Monday night. Break this down for me. Who are you picking, and why are you picking them? The Seahawks are sitting, according to NFL.com, 4th in offense, 25th in defense, 9th in passing, and 8th in rushing. The San Francisco 49ers are 2nd in rushing, 22nd in passing, 1st in defense, and 7th in offense. So systematically, you would think that the Seahawks should be running the ball against this team.
I mean, you think.
8 of the first 9 plays that the Seahawks did this last game were passes. Very uncharacteristic of the Seahawks. Do you believe that they come out and play the San Francisco 49ers the same way? This is a rivalry game.
Yeah.
It's an important, very crucial game.
I think they do, because they know Chris Carson has questionable ball handling skills. But DK Metcalf And
They signed Josh Gordon. We didn't even talk about that yet.
yes,
They
and
signed Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon will be eligible for this game.
How much of a factor
In this game,
is Josh Gordon going to be for the Seahawks in this one?
I'm not sure how much of a factor he's
I don't
gonna be
know
in
how
this
many
game.
snaps he's going to get. You guys take big swings of, yeah, dude, yeah, swigs of coffee.
Man, it's the air attack that I'm worried about with Seattle in this one. Not worried, but hoping for.
I don't want them to do that because it is just going to be fuel to the fire for Richard Sherman to get interceptions in this game, and I don't want to hear him chip and chap afterwards. All that chatter from him after this game, win or lose, he's going to do it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's Richard Sherman. I mean,
I don't want to
that's what
hear
he
it.
does.
I don't want to hear it if he gets a pick six. I don't want to hear it if he gets interceptions. Stay away from Richard Sherman. Throw it on the other side of the ball
Yeah,
because
but you're also
throw it on the other side of the field because Richard Sherman cannot play two sides of the field.
You're also talking about two guys that have played on opposite sides of the field for 6 years straight.
You don't think they ran practice squads against each other?
I mean, they did occasionally. I mean, but you have to get – if you have the best corner in the game, at the time he was, you're going to tell me that they didn't run practice against each other? Why wouldn't you? If you have the best versus one of the best throw against each other,
I'm feeling what you're saying.
you know what I mean?
You know, I'm playing devil's advocate
I mean,
here.
you'd be an idiot not to.
Right. I'm playing devil's advocate here.
I mean, after what I've seen, yeah, I would just straight up avoid Richard Sherman.
That's what I'm saying.
But
How satisfying is it as a Seahawks fan
he's getting older,
to watch
and
Russell Wilson burn a touchdown to Tyler Lockett over Richard Sherman?
or DK Metcalf, a rookie,
Yeah.
and if there's a guy who could do it,
It's DK Metcalf. He's
Or-
leading the league.
or Tyler Lockett.
He's-
yeah, little guy to little guy, just
Tyler,
right in the breadbasket.
you know DK Metcalf is leading rookie wide receivers in yards this season?
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it.
How many
for a
people
second.
passed on DK Metcalf this season? In the draft. Why? I'm so glad they got DK Metcalf.
Because they thought he was a one-trick
His,
pony.
his development has been
They're
so
just
great.
oh no, he's just a freak beast in college, and he's not going to do dick in the NFL. And well, people thought that about Russell Wilson. They thought that about Tom Brady.
Right.
Sometimes all the experts are just straight up wrong.
That's true. Experts like us.
We're not experts.
Oh, I'm an expert.
We're just two a-holes on the internet.
So, San Francisco versus the Seahawks in San Francisco.
In San Francisco, I'm going with the Niners.
You got a piece of paper here?
No,
Oh,
I didn't know I needed one.
it's okay. I'll write it on this notepad here.
Okay. Ugh. God damn it.
I'm going to go with the coin here real quick. Coin takes a visiting team. Seattle Seahawks. I'm also taking the Seattle Seahawks.
You know what? Fuck the 49ers.
I believe the Seahawks will pull this one off. The Seahawks have, since the Pete Carroll era, have had an exponentially higher winning percentage in primetime games. What?
I'll tell you later.
Okay. In primetime games, the Seahawks will win this game. They will dethrone the
I hope
undefeated
so.
and let that 1972 Miami Dolphins team pop the champagne and party it up as the only team to complete a season without losing. And it ends next week. Go Seahawks. Thursday night game is the Chargers versus the Raiders. The Oakland Raiders are coming off of a 31-24 victory over the Detroit Lions. And the Chargers, I think, no, they beat Green Bay 26-11. Yeah. Is the Chargers turning it around? They beat Green Bay.
Give me Oakland.
Give you Oakland? I'm going to take the Chargers in this one. You're going to take Oakland? Okay.
Yep.
So, LA Chargers.
No. Oakland.
Relax. Coin takes the home team. Oakland. All right. I really like what's going on down there in Oakland, though. Oakland has really surprised me at 4-4 this season.
Really? They kind of disappointed me. I thought they would have a better record.
I thought they were going to be doing way worse than this.
I thought they'd be 5-3 at this point, honestly.
I'm shocked that they got 4 wins this year.
I'm not. I think they're going to get their 5th right now.
Well, obviously you think that, but it's okay to be wrong.
Ha! Okay, well, this is, come on now.
The Baltimore Ravens are visiting the Cincinnati Bengals. The Baltimore Ravens are 6-2 and just came off of a win of the formerly undefeated New England Patriots. Cincinnati is 0-9.
0-8.
0-8. Excuse me. 0-8.
I think they're about to be 0-9.
They're 32nd in defense and 32nd in rushing. They're 25th in offense and 11th in passing. Andy Dalton's hitting the bench this week. Yes, Andy Dalton will see the bench this week. Who do you got?
Because that's the problem in Cincinnati is Andy Dalton.
The second-ranked offense versus the 25th offense. And the 15th defense versus the 32nd. Excuse me. Are you sure?
There might as well
be. Are you sure?
Let's go 5. Yeah. Somehow the NFL added teams just so the Bengals could be worse than them.
Exactly. They're that bad that they're worse than teams that don't even exist. They're worse than Alabama. And Alabama is now included in the NFL defensive rankings.
They're worse than Alabama's JV squad.
They're worse than Alabama's scouts.
They're worse than Hawaii Technical.
They're worse than Olympic College.
Oh my God.
I'm taking the Ravens.
Yes.
Solidly in this one.
Yeah, definitely.
Baltimore. Give me the coin. Boom. Taking the visiting team. Baltimore.
Clean sweep.
All right. Let's move right along. Let's check some comments here real quick. A lot of swearing. Let's barbecue Monday. Eric's not invited. I can get some pheasant over there and we can eat some pheasant. I'll be into that. Let's do that. Buffalo Bills sitting at 6-2 versus your favorite, the 2-6.
Give me the Browns.
Cleveland Browns.
Give me the Browns.
All right, man.
You go to Brown Town.
Cleveland. Cleveland. How'd they do last week?
They lost.
Well, yeah, obviously. To Denver?
Yeah,
Yeah, Denver. What happened with all the hype, dude? Kareem Hunt's coming back. This is the week Kareem Hunt comes back.
I don't know.
You think he's going to make a difference?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. He's going to be the difference maker in the Browns going 3-6 and the Bills going 6-3.
All right. Chalk it up to Kareem Hunt. Yeah, I'm taking the Bills, man. Easy on that one. Let's look at the coin. Visiting team, Buffalo.
Well, it's all right to be wrong.
Wow. The Detroit Lions are facing the Chicago Bears. One team has to win.
Well, yeah, unless it's a tie.
I really thought a few weeks ago that the Detroit Lions were a much better team than this. They were keeping up with basically everybody they played, though they just lost to Oakland by 7. It's still, I feel like these are just games that they should be winning, and Matt Stafford isn't playing terribly.
Well,
what do you account this?
They're 5th in offense.
Their defense is just awful.
Garbage.
Just awful. I feel bad for Detroit fans this season because you got a lot going here on offense. Passing looks good. Defense, you might as well only have, Pop Warner kids out there. What is happening?
I don't know. I also feel bad for Bears fans, too, because they're just like,
on the other side of the coin,
man, Trubisky, came out, last season. I mean, he didn't burn the house down, but if you look back historically, I mean,
is this his
Terry
sophomore
Bradshaw
slump?
almost got laughed off the field. I mean,
his sophomore slump, maybe.
He threw more interceptions than he did touchdowns his first year. And, Stafford. Well, Trubisky. Sorry, Jesus.
Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky. Oh, well, yeah, he's thinking about Stafford. He's like, well, I mean, it was close. And it's like he threw a little bit more touchdowns than he did interceptions. So, I don't know. Last year, he just looked like a way better quarterback than he does this year. I have way bigger hopes for the Bears.
I'm concerned about this sophomore slump that he's having, and I'm thinking it might continue into a pit of misery where now Cam Newton's on the IR, and they got Allen. Cam Newton might be jumping ship and going to Chicago or Denver. If they release Cam Newton, they save $19.1 million. $19.1 million. I can definitely see Cam Newton in a Bears uniform next season or a Denver Broncos uniform next season. Or maybe even Miami, to be honest with you. But I do not see him in a Carolina Panthers uniform.
Or the Redskins.
The Redskins are in Case Keenum, God rest your soul.
No, he's done.
He's just stick a fork in him, dude. I had high hopes for him this season. He looked good at the beginning. I don't know what happened.
Every time I think I have high hopes for Case Keenum, I'm like, oh, man, he did decent his rookie year in Denver. And then after that, it's just like, God damn. Come on, man. You're better than that.
Somebody's got to win this game. And I'm picking Detroit in this one.
I'm picking the Bears.
The coin takes Detroit as well. If you guys are not following us on Twitch, go check us out on Twitch as well. We're live on Twitch. Richter Shoe, RITSHOUE.
Chi-Town.
That's right. Detroit for me. And Detroit for the coin. All right, let's move right along. The Jets versus the Giants. In the Meadowlands.
In the second who gives a crap game.
Last night's game, they had a black cat go into the end zone.
Sure did.
I'm pretty sure if math has taught me anything at all in my entire life, that cat that was in the end zone last night was in the end zone longer than any New York Jets player this entire season. Give me the Giants.
Damn.
You like that? We call him Whiskers, the touchdown scoring cat. And he's been in the end zone more than any Jets player in New York, in their home field.
Actually, I do like that, yeah. But, no, Giants.
You're going to take the Giants as well? Yeah. The Jets, dude, I picked Miami last week because the Jets are, I honestly think the Jets are worse than Miami.
Yeah, they very well could be. And, no, not Dallas. Yeah.
Visiting team, give them the Giants. Clean sweep. All right.
Yet again.
Yay! Give me the next matchup.
Chiefs.
Will be the Chiefs versus the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. This could be the game. Patrick Mahomes comes back. Should you rush Patrick Mahomes at this point? The Chiefs are 6-3. If Patrick Mahomes is questionable,
I wouldn't. I would rather sit at 6-5 and have a healthy Patrick Mahomes.
6-4.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I can do math.
So according to you, the Oakland Raiders are going to win, which will put them at 5-4.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs have that much of a buffer at 6-3 that they're going to win this game, and you can sit Patrick Mahomes against the Tennessee Titans, who win games they shouldn't and lose games they shouldn't. We've come to an agreement on this show that the Tennessee Titans are just like the wild card that just always just shows up whenever they feel like it.
Yeah, I mean that's why it's so
And this
hard to pick.
this could be one of those games. I don't think it's going to be because I'm taking the Chiefs.
It shouldn't be. But, I mean, this could be, like we're talking about trap games. This could be a trap game for...
Is this a game that you, as the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes is cleared, but still, rough around the edges on his knee. He's good to go, you can play him, but you as a general manager or a head coach,
Who's the next team?
the next week that they play?
Yeah.
Let's check. Let's find out. Week 11, the Kansas City Chiefs will be playing the Chargers.
I would sit them.
You're sitting them?
I'd sit them and play them against the Chargers.
Okay. I like it.
I
You
mean,
think the Chiefs are winning this one with a backup?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. I agree with you. I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs for sure. Are you taking the Chiefs?
Yeah.
All right. Let's check the coin. Give me home field. Take the visiting team. Kansas City.
What? And
Clean sweep.
Who's the quarterback for Tennessee?
More.
More?
Oh, no.
Or-
Tennessee
or-
is Tannehill. Right now.
Oh, okay.
They got Tannehill under the center.
Back 10.
Yeah.
So we haven't moved back to Mariota.
Not as far as I know. We can go back and check real quick. Well, I kind of do. So let's just double check. The Carolina Panthers versus the Tennessee Titans.
Oh.
Check it out real quick. It was Ryan Tannehill, and I'm pretty sure Ryan Tannehill will be playing again next week. Marcus Mariota is just not the answer there.
Yeah.
Do I think Ryan Tannehill is the answer? No. But you got a nice running back in Derrick Henry. And you keep pounding that ball. And then set up with Ryan Tannehill in a play action. You can burn the Chiefs' defense all day. This could be an easy trap game for them, but I do believe the Chiefs will pull it out. Here's a story of a team named Arizona Cardinals who have fought tooth and nail all season
The hell?
to get to 3-5-1. And they're facing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who took the Seahawks to overtime last week.
They did.
Both teams kind of wishy-washy. David Johnson's back next week. David Johnson will be running. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have Jameis Winston, who looked pretty phenomenal last week against the Seahawks. I mean, I wouldn't have any qualms with Jameis Winston's performance if I was a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan last week. It is in Tampa.
Yep.
You got Kyler Murray sitting there. The Cardinals lost to the San Francisco 49ers by 3 points. Tooth and nail all season. Are you giving the Cardinals the benefit of the doubt? Will they go 4-5-1 after this week?
No.
You're taking Tampa?
Yep.
Okay. Give me your reason why.
Mostly it boils down to the defense.
The defense. Okay.
I mean, I'm sticking with that old adage, defense wins championships. And Tampa Bay has a better defense.
Okay. I like it. I'm going to take Arizona.
I like that too.
I think Arizona is going to come out here with David Johnson this week and just pound the ball down Tampa's throat. There won't be very much Kyler Murray talk. David Johnson will be back from his injury and just smash all over the defensive line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're taking the visiting team. It's the Cardinals. All right. Let's move right along. The 1-7 Falcons are visiting the 7-1 New Orleans Saints. I don't think there's a question here.
No.
the Falcons can pass the ball. And that's really all I can say about this team. Matt Ryan is doing what he needs to do. And anybody who's sitting here saying Matt Ryan needs to hit the bench is clearly not paying attention to the defense and the offensive line when it comes to blocking for the runs. It is an awful, awful travesty that they've got Devontae Freeman in the backfield, and this man is not getting the yards he deserves because of that offensive line. You got rid of Mohamed Sanu this season, so you still got Julio Jones, who basically hasn't really done too much because there's not too much time for Matt Ryan to throw the ball. I dislike it. I hate it. I like seeing the Falcons do well. I don't have anything against the Falcons. The Saints look really good this year.
I mean, if anything, I like seeing the Falcons do well because their head coach,
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn, hell of a guy.
So, unfortunately, I think the New Orleans Saints are the NFC team to beat this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anybody who's competing with the quality of the team that the New Orleans Saints have. You got Drew Brees, who can basically throw it to anybody on the field, but you also have Michael Thomas.
He pleases.
Yeah, and Michael Thomas will come down with a cold from another state. He can catch that well.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if your passing game isn't working, you got Alvin Kamara, who's backed by a phenomenal offensive line. Wow, this season's going to be great for the Saints, and I see a Super Bowl run for them. Even if you don't even need Drew Brees there. Teddy Bridgewater did not lose a single game when he was replacing Drew Brees this season. Absolutely
I've
phenomenal.
always liked Teddy Bridgewater.
Nothing wrong with Teddy Bridgewater. There is so many things wrong with why that didn't work in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. It should have worked, and it didn't. It doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, a big reason is the offensive line the Saints have this year.
So, easy pick for me.
But, yeah, a protected Teddy Bridgewater has more than the skills to get it done.
Absolutely. Let's see what the coin takes. Ooh, I didn't drop it yet. Home team, New Orleans. Another sweep. Let's go. All right, let's check the
We
comments.
agree with the 50-50 odds. Yeah!
We got 3 more games in the chute. 4 more games in the chute. You got the Dolphins, 1-7, coming off of a victory.
A huge win!
First win over the Jets this season. First win. Let's go, Dolphins. Let's keep it
And they're
going.
going to go into Indy
And
lose.
Dolphins are awful this season. And the Jets are just as bad, if not worse. Give me Indiana or Indianapolis.
Yeah, give me Indy.
Easy pick. Let's check the
Who
coin.
would think? Home team.
Indy. I only flipped it over because it fumbled around in my hand. So, sorry about that. I normally don't do that. Whew. The Los Angeles Rams are visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look at this. The last 3 times the Steelers have met the Rams.
Yeah, but you're going 07, 11, and
What difference does that make?
15.
What difference does that make?
Well, it makes a difference when you're talking about
Not-
a game that was 4 years ago.
No. The Steelers clearly have the edge. They're 0-3 in their last meeting. The Rams, 0-3 in their last 3 meetings. Makes a huge difference.
You know, I mean, I my first instinct was actually to take the Steelers.
I was thinking about taking the Steelers as well. Todd Gurley, what is happening?
I don't know.
The Rams are 5-3. It's not a terrible record, but they're just unimpressive this season. I feel like every win they've gotten
They've only won one more game.
was a scrape by off their teeth every single time they've played.
Well, I mean, like we were just talking, or when we were talking earlier in the show about the Seahawks, I mean, if you're going to play close games, you're either going to win by a score or you're going to lose by a score.
The Rams last season were blowing people out.
Yeah, the team that the Rams had last year had an absolute shit ton of one-year contracts, too, on good players.
It's very true.
I mean, there's a big reason why we didn't see a Ndamukong Suh in a Rams uniform this year. He's in a Bucs uniform. Guess anyone was confused about that.
When they win relatively soundly. But when they're losing,
Unless they're playing the Hawks. Hawks beat them
by one.
By 1 point, yeah.
I don't know what's going. I know that they had 1-year contracts on a whole bunch of players, but
they beat the Browns.
they could have.
By
7.
Yeah, by a touchdown. Seahawks beat them by 1.
The Buccaneers beat them 55-40.
So 2 scores.
This is an analytical breakdown here, guys. We're so concerned about how well the Rams are doing. I'm unimpressed with this. And when they beat the Saints, it was the first time Teddy Bridgewater touched the field this season.
And he only played, half the game?
Yeah, something like that. I think Drew Brees got out halfway through the game.
Yeah, I think he left at halftime.
So
So they faced an injured Drew Brees, and then not unprepared, but
not as much in
not
sync.
totally equipped Teddy Bridgewater,
Right.
and beat the Saints.
What's up with the Pittsburgh Steelers? They're 4-4. How are you feeling about the Pittsburgh Steelers this season?
I don't know, man. Honestly, my gut instinct was to take the Steelers in this one.
Why?
I don't know. I saw the matchup and I was like, take the Steelers.
Okay.
I mean, they also have Mason Rudolph back. So So they lost by 4 points to the 49ers, 3 points by a field goal to the Ravens.
They just beat the Colts. I'm liking Pittsburgh in this one. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a Seahawks fan. Yeah, you wish, bro. Give me Pittsburgh. I'm going to take Pittsburgh in this one.
I agree, actually. The harder we look at it, the more I'm sticking with my gut.
Visiting team. The Rams. All right.
We're going to beat by a fucking Colt.
No, we won't. Packers. Wow, this game calls for snow.
Give me the Packers. At home?
Yeah. What
Against the Panthers?
the Packers just lost to the Chargers. Can we take that into account, or are you just
I'm not.
saying that was just a fluke game?
No, I mean, as much crap as I talk about, Jesus Christ.
Cam Newton,
No.
Aaron Rodgers.
No. The goddamn Chargers quarterback.
Philip Rivers.
Philip Rivers. Thank you. Goddamn. Tip my tongue there. He's good, and they played not insane.
They played in Los Angeles.
Yeah, they play in Los Angeles. He's good at home. He's a good quarterback. But in this game, I think that was a fluke. I
want to bring this up.
I don't think that Carolina is going into Lambeau.
We're looking at a 26th ranked defense of the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
On a 7th ranked rushing of the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
You don't see that being a factor at all? Because I feel like Christian McCaffrey has the capabilities of running 150 yards on the Packers, 2 touchdowns, and bringing them close to field goal range on a screenplay to get a field goal to win it with 3 seconds left.
I have more faith in the Packers secondary. And I think they're going to figure out that. I think they're going to figure out a way to stop them. Or slow them down, at least. Not stop them. But
I was initially going to pick Green Bay in this one, but I'm going to take Carolina. I'm taking Carolina in this one as an upset.
I'm still going Green Bay.
The coin took Carolina as well. The 6-3 Minnesota Vikings are facing the 5-3 Dallas Cowboys.
In Dallas.
In Dallas.
Give me the Cowboys.
I'm going to take Minnesota on this one.
I hope you're right.
I just like the air raid offense here in Minnesota. And Dalvin Cook, when he gets the ball, when he's running, looks phenomenal. Yeah, give me Minnesota. Easy. Visiting team. Minnesota.
I would agree, but Dallas at home is always a tough game.
I like it. Those are our picks for this week. It has been 53 minutes. Russian, who's Russian? My money's on Eric. All right. So, I'm going to take this opportunity to say, go check out Tabby's Coffee. Tabby's Coffee is in the Everett Library. Tell them Talking Fair and Sports sent you. They'll hook you up nicely. Also, happy Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day. All my vets out there.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Scheduling news here. I'm going to start doing some shows by myself without Eric. Some work stuff's going on with Eric, and I want to push more content than what is available for Eric's schedule. So I'm going to start moving to 2-3 times a week, and I'm going to be doing it, trying to get more people involved in just, trying to get other sports fans to talk about sports with me and me talking about what I want to talk about on some sports. So Talking Interference Sports is going to start moving to 2 to 3 times a week, depending on how my schedule is going. But I'm going to start pushing some late night videos during like the weekend and maybe once else during the week. But the rest of the football season, we're still doing this on Tuesdays.
Yep.
So this is what you're going to get on Tuesdays. And then 2 other days of the week, one of them I'm going to start talking specifically about Seattle sports and things that are happening on the Seattle sports spectrum. And then the other one I'm going to start talking about some NBA and like if I feel froggy, some rugby, some NHL, just sports in general that's not NFL. So that day maybe I'll throw in some like, oh, this guy got picked up on the waiver wire or whatever. But that will be specifically not to talk about football because that's what we're doing here on Tuesdays. So looking forward to doing some more stuff here, guys. Go to SeatGeek.com, use promo code GCSN, get tickets to your favorite concert, band, your sports, wherever you're going, get tickets to it. Go to SeatGeek.com, use promo code GCSN, and look out for more Talk Interference Sports episodes through the week. You got anything else you want to add? Happy birthday, Marines.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Go ahead.
Happy birthday, Marine Corps. I mean, it's early, but happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Marine Corps. And happy Veterans Day, guys. Take some time to think of that.
Yeah. And also on a personal note, we do this show one time a week. I can't speak for Nick, but evaluate your mental health. If you need somebody out there just to bullshit with, I mean, I'm more than willing to, send me a message, whatever, talk to you. I don't care.
I'm right there on board with you, man.
I mean, that's a big thing. I mean, I think we average losing 22 veterans a day. That's too many. Or just in general, just take that piece out of it. I mean, I just recently lost a good friend of mine from high school over the past week. You're not alone. Just reach out to somebody.
There's a lot of hotlines out there as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of hotlines out there. There's a lot of people out there who are willing to listen or willing to talk to you.
Use those resources, guys.
Absolutely.
And we're resources as well. You can always talk to us as well.
Definitely.
Check it out. Happy Veterans Day. Future more episodes during the week of Talk Interference Sports.
Yeah.
Check out Kitsap Connection as well. We might be having a outdoor podcast, hunting and fishing, coming up here real soon.
Hopefully real soon.
So come in, if you're into hunting and fishing, come and check that out as well. Shout out Jeff's Basement. I haven't gave Jeff's Basement a shout out in a while. Or I guess talk better sports.
Or that one show where they talk about stuff.
Yeah, that's a good one. I haven't heard that one in a while.
It's okay. I tune in every now and then.
Start your own podcast.
Yeah, get out there.
Do your own podcast, guys.
I mean, if we can do it, you can.
All right, man. It's been a good week, and go Seahawks.
Go Hawks.